Welcome back to the UKLC Gauntlet. My name is Munchballs. I'm joined by Orcs as we step into the second game of this series. And Phelan, they've been battling their way through the Gauntlet across the course of this week. But XL appear to be the brick wall that is going to stop the run.
I don't think they're feeling too good after that one. They got...
Terrible pun.
Yeah, it was, but...
This has already been done like 8 times.
It's a terrible game for Phelan. They got
That's true.
Annihilated. Mostly coming from the bot lane. And that's the big thing that's concerning because they're the veterans of the roster. They are the highest experienced, arguably highest caliber players on the roster, and XL made them look like the weakest components of the team. And it was just that constant pressure from level 1. They looked for them, they found those plays, they found those ganks, and then they just set up tent there, and there was very little they could do.
Yeah, I mean, it was utter destruction. It's honestly one of those games that almost becomes difficult to analyze because it was so one-sided in favor of XL. But the biggest thing to take away, especially for Phelan, is clearly XL are going to come in and they're going to make stuff happen during this early game. Phelan, they've got to play for the early game.
I mean, I'm going to say, Munch, that I'd argue it's easy to analyze. The game was lost in 10 minutes. You don't have to analyze a full game. There was 10 minutes where they threw the game away, and everything else was just XL slowly closing it out.
And now we have to see Phelan change things up. They have to draft for this early game and go toe-to-toe with XL. Don't go for things that are going to scale up, because XL are not going to allow you to scale up.
Yeah, particularly the Kazakhs was just not a factor in the bot lane. I think the Pantheon was a massive issue. They are on red side now. I mean, maybe XL just first picked that Pantheon. It's a massive denial to Bear Tree. It kept them on their toes. And it was so powerful for Kasing. He likes these point-and-click CC supports because there is zero outplay potential. We've seen him on the Fiddle. We've seen him here on the Pantheon.
Yeah.
It makes it very difficult for any outplays to come through if you're just being shut down instantly, locked down.
Well, Syndra going to be taken off the board this time by XL, and it was Exile playing it in game 1 of this series. So we'll see what Phelan are going to answer with. They've gone with the same bans as they did in game 1 so far, and we'll see if that trend continues.
Yeah, we will see. The bans, so going with the same bans as last time is actually the Syndra banned away from XL. So remember, they did pick that up in that game. A little bit of variation there. And Yasuo coming in as the first pick from XL. Remember,
all right,
this was an XL special, but it has been flex bot lane. There is a bit of versatility with that one. And now goes over to Phelan and decide what they're going to do in response.
It's a stylish first pick as well. Going for the Yasuo first always feels a little bit almost disrespectful.
But it does mean because they banned the Syndra and not the Zed, that is available. And Kamara did try and pick that into the Yasuo the other day. But didn't quite get the matchup that he wanted. When he's seen the volley bet instantly coming for Wisdom, not confident with his performance on the Ricard. I think it's a good pickup. If the Pantheon's taken, you can actually interrupt the shield vault with your Roar. So a lot more tankiness, and I think Wisdom feels a lot more comfortable in this champion. Now it comes to the next pick, and what Phelan want to do to sort of round out that composition to deal with what XL is going to throw at them.
Well, could well be that Cassiopeia. That's what they first picked in game number 1 of this series. It's been an absolute solid fallback for them throughout this entire gauntlet. Chimera, very capable on that Cassiopeia. However, lost significantly in the early game, especially when it came to CS leads.
Absolutely did, but a massive amount of power, and if the Yasuo goes in with the last breath, you can throw the miasma down underneath him. Can't do anything, but XL going with their standard. They have the Yasuo Sejuani. It could be the mid jungle, it could be the bot lane matchup, and they have that Corki, which can flex bot or mid. A lot of versatility already with their picks.
Yeah. You could say Flexel. I believe that's been said before.
It has. It has. And now Phelan are going to go with their jungle pick, I expect here. Just a matchup against that Sejuani. It means a choose pick still on the table. And also the top lane pick for Bear Tree that Pantheon not touched on so far.
And now down to the second round of bans. And Phelan have to decide what they want to take away from XL here with this kind of mid/bot lock-in. They could focus towards that top side, maybe ban something like the Fiora away because they've really struggled against that Fiora pick.
And the thing is, we've seen Bear Tree play Aatrox and Mordekaiser. Fiora's great into both of them, so it makes sense they would ban that away because from what we've seen of Bear Tree, he doesn't have an answer to that champion. Mordekaiser gets banned away from XL. They could ban Aatrox as the next pick, would be problematic, but I feel like the bigger ban for me may well either be the Vigar or the Ziggs from Achu. Vigar was originally picked up in the bot lane as a counter to the Yasuo bot lane. You can put that cage down, it limits his mobility, and then Ziggs, just a poke coming out from it, is such a massive threat. Phelan are looking towards the next ban again. The big issue here is it's so hard to draft against the likes of XL when they have all these flex picks, because you don't really know where anything's going. All you can really look at is that top lane. It's unlikely that they'll be playing the Yasuo or the Corki top, but other than that, you're really unsure.
Well, Karma will be taken off the board, even though we've really not seen it in the Gauntlet.
Not
I
the Gauntlet,
for one game,
but XL
maybe,
has played a lot of it. We did see it from Phelan coming out as a support pick, but XL have played a ton of it, and you see pretty heavily banning away the pool of Phelan. There is only that Aatrox left available.
Pick, yeah.
They must have expected that, though. They know Battery has played these 3 champions exclusively. They take away the Pantheon and Mordekaiser, they leave the Aatrox open, and that means they should have something ready to go up against this in the hands of Sendo.
Yeah, still a few top lane picks available. Some of the range stuff, thinking like the Gnar, like the Kennen are available.
Definitely a big one for him. And then you see the Silas being hovered. This would sort of cement that Sejuani into the support role. Sejuani Yasuo bot lane, we've seen it before. A lot of strength because the Yasuo dashes in and there's that easy lockdown.
Oh, it's certainly going to be a very... I mean, Sejuani was not one of the picks I was thinking was a flex, but with XL, you never can tell. And Kasing, just like every other draft, is going to hover that Zillion until he decides what the lock-in will be. And it is going to be that Gnar that we talked about. Yeah,
fairly standard from XL. They put the Yasuo Sejuani bot lane for the power there, and obviously it works so well together, you can easily stack it for passive. Corki's going to go mid, likely in the hands of Hjarnan, and then they have Silas for Taxa once more, and Sendo and Gnar. A lot of comfort for the team, and now Phelan opting to once again potentially go for this Xayah. We saw Chu have a rough showing on it last game. Hopefully it can go better here. I like that Soft has something with more of an early agenda, a bit more CC. The top lane matchup, I feel like it's not going to necessarily get outskilled like it was potentially going to go that way last time. And in the bot lane, I definitely think that the Volibear has a lot more tools to sort of deal with the likes of XL's aggression in the early levels.
When we talk about this draft, though, XL really have done a number on Phelan and specifically on Soft once again. They picked up the Skarner thinking Sejuani's definitely going into the jungle. Now we're in a situation where Taxa can just steal away this Skarner ultimate. Yeah,
absolutely, and it's obviously a great one to steal away, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'd rather you give yourself the tools. Sure, you give a great option to Taxa, but I'd rather you have the potential to make the plays. Sure. Because if you're more proactive as Soft, you'll get more value out of it. It's also going to be on a shorter cooldown for you because obviously Taxa has to rotate through some other ultimates before there's a longer cooldown per person. And to be honest, compared to the rest of them, there's not that many great options. Like, they're nice by all means, but Volibear, not the best. The Xayah ult, not great when you can't pull the feathers back in. Aatrox, limited effectiveness, especially since you can't get the revive anymore.
Cassiopeia
is pretty big, but it is avoidable.
Yeah.
And the Cassiopeia is going to have more AP than the Silas, because a lot of instances you see him stealing ults away from champions and actually having more AP from it in the end. Not so much with the Cassiopeia.
All right, so my big question for you, Orcs. How do Phelan stop the bleeding here? What is the play? How do they play out this early game? What can they do to stop XL rolling like they did last game?
Protect your bot lane level 1. That is realistically all you need to do. Protect your bot side jungle, ward it, cover it, have everyone covering the entrances, ensure they can't go for that massive invade again, and shut down your bot lane. And also, they split the map. The reason it was so problematic is the red side of Phelan had been given over to XL, and they just focused bot.
They certainly focused on that bottom lane. Achu and Wisdom have their work cut out as we move into game number 2. Bear Tree on that Aatrox. We've seen him doing tremendous things on that pick previously. And we'll see if there's any level 1 action that's going to kick off in this game. It certainly did. The first game of the series, and XL trying to sneak their way into this jungle once again. This time, Phelan are a little bit readier for it.
They're all actually waiting in that tribe rush, so expecting the invade.
They're trying to bait it.
They want to go for a counteract. Remember, the level 1 is nowhere near as good this time from XL. Neither of them actually seen each other, but you don't have that Pantheon guaranteed stun level 1. It looks like they're just going to end up backing off. Nothing gained here, so definitely a win coming out for the side of Phelan. The fact that they haven't already lost bot lane before they get into it.
The fact that they haven't lost the game in the first minute is considered a win. That's a dire statement coming into a game in a series. XL are 1-0 up. If you're just joining us, game one was exceptionally one-sided in favor of XL. And now Phelan, after running the Gauntlet, this is their 5th best of 3 in a row. They were the 7th seed coming in, and now they're fighting against the 2nd seed. They've battled their way through these series, and now it feels like maybe it'll be the end of the run, but they have this game to try and change their fate.
Absolutely do. We see Shannon already trying to make some presence mid lane. Remember, it's 916. Corki got nerfed pretty heavily. A big hit to his base AD and also his scaling, and it's a massive hit in terms of his power with the Triforce. XL actually going for the Krugs level 1, knowing he'll be zoned off as a level 1 Yasuo. Trying to get some XP from the jungle camps there, and actually doing the whole camp to himself. So Achu and Wisdom has to be careful. They may be caught off guard by the fact that XL has done a camp.
Then again, potentially, as XL hits level 2, they could be predicting that that's going to be the case since he was out of lane for so long. There's very little else he could have been doing during that time. Kasing still going to be level 1, obviously, but it's quite tanky on that Sejuani just by default.
Absolutely is. Level 2 is where you can potentially make something happen, but I feel like you want to wait for the wind wall on XL just to block all those feathers from coming out. Playing it safe for now, respecting the power that is available with that volley bear.
Well, the minion wave going to be shoved on in, but XL should be able to clear up a lot of that as Hyanon is going to be moving into the mid lane. And I'm sure some of you at home are wondering, what on earth is XL doing in the bottom lane? Surely, even with the Yasuo bot, you would still send your bot laner. But XL, especially in the UK, they are known for swapping these players around. They are known. Often it was Sendu going to the bot, but actually it's going to be XL already caught out by Wisdom here, but that is not a trade that they managed to win.
Yeah, Windwall comes out, completely shuts down the play, and Wisdom, he doesn't take that much damage considering there's a tower hit, but actually Windwall being down means that you can get a root.
Good amount of damage coming through there. But yeah, XL, they're known for being very flexible, moving players to different lanes. And speaking of that, Tax is coming on down. Kasing, though, is going to be rooted up immediately. Achu can't finish the kill, but Soft is arriving at the same time. Teleport going to be coming on in as Taxa is stunned. Exile takes a good chunk, but as Chimera arrives, the fight diffuses.
A lot of action there, but Kasing manages to get away and TP burn. And this is actually a graphic we have prepared showing the flexibility of XL. And yeah, it obviously is stacked in their roles, but you can see out of 18 games, Sendo has had 4 bottom, 1 mid. XL playing 1 top, 2 bottom, and then Shannon's been the biggest variety. 4 top lane games, 4 mid lane games. And it's a given that they're going to spend more time in their own roles, but it's the fact that XL has spent so many games with flexible compositions, putting people in different areas. It's what we expect from them at this point.
Really great trade there coming out from Sendo, predicting where those sweet spots are going to be.
Predator.
But Predator comes in, Soft looking for a gank into this lane. Sendo trying to dance back and forth, but he's taking damage from Bear Tree. In the meantime, Flash comes out. But I'm not sure that's the right direction to flash in. Hyper will do a good chunk of damage. The Boomerang, though, is not going to be available for him. And now Soft might just be able to chase this Yordle down. He's looking for an execute, and I think he might have found it. Sendo running rings around Phelan.
What a play, and Soft pops a Predator, but you can see that was expected coming out from Sendo. He already burned his flash in the bot lane. Sendo saw it coming. He basically just plays with him. There's no way for him to close the gap, and Battery almost dies when he gets close. Actually,
oh, Kasing pulled onto tower. It's only going to be 1 shot that goes through, but in the meantime, Exile takes a good few attacks from Achu. But here we go, 4 members now as the dive begins, and it's the same story as game number 1. Wisdom, though, managing to get onto Exile. He's not tanking the turret, but here comes the miasma. Exile will be traded. It's 1-for-1 so far. Now Soft trying to find a way back into this fight. He's only level 4, so will not have that ultimate. It's disengaged, but it's 1-for-1.
Definitely a better case scenario than the last game, but look how much Phelan is committing. They're so concerned about XL. They burned the TP from Chimera earlier, and this time they burned the TP from Battery. Yes, they managed to evade the play, but they didn't actually need that extra member there. They only trade 1-for-1, and now Battery, he's losing some plates and quite a bit of a wave, and in fact, Phelan going to make a lane swap here. deciding not to prioritize the Ocean Dragon, but Achu.
Oh my goodness, Achu, not like this. Another boulder toss will finish the job, and Sendo finds his opportunity on the Lonely Zaya.
And Achu just has not been performing in this series, constantly caught out. And it was something that occasionally happened. Oh no, Battery.
Battery, the next target. Kasing.
Oh, no. He's gone.
Can't quite get the Arctic Assault.
Achu had moments in the other series where he was caught out, but it didn't become an issue because they were so dominant. But here against XL, it's starting to look like a gameplay issue. The fact that he's consistently just dying in random places last game and now in this game, there's no reason that Sendo should just be able to solo kill you under your tower. Just complete disrespect towards the Meganar.
And Sendo has had so much solo time on that tower in the top side. He must have grabbed so many plates, and I mean, it's a 2-level advantage. Sendo comfortably takes that kill.
Yeah, slams him into the wall. Doesn't even grab tower aggro. Makes it easy for him. And now, play coming in. Soft still level 5, but he's got Predator.
Yeah, Wisdom with the Rolling Thunder trying to get on in. Kasing is the target. Windwall will not protect him, and Wisdom gets the kill.
Flawless play from Wisdom. Uses the Roar to actually interrupt the Arctic Assault from Kasing. Gives that increased damage and an easy follow-up with the flip. Great play and starting to show some life again for Phelan. Compared to last game, they're doing amazing.
I mean, you're not wrong. They are only 1,000 gold down right now. Ocean Drake will be started off. Soft going to begin that objective, and it looks like Tax is going to back away, deciding that this is not something that they can contest, not without Kasing on the map. Soft getting relatively low, though. And they're not taking this down too quickly. Here comes Exile on the Yasuo. This could be really bad news, but the smite comes through. Soft managing to get the Drake.
And definitely something you want to pick up. Gives you more early scaling.
Achu,
Why are you going this way?
Oh, he's been caught out, and there is the last breath. Achu, the Windwall will protect Exile, and it's an easy kill. Achu just constantly caught out.
It's just such disrespect. There's no reason for you to walk that way. It's so greedy. And it's frustrating to see, because for every good play Phelan make, Achu just throws away the advantages. Soft will secure that one. Wisdom has to be a little bit careful here.
It's such a frustrating... Oh, Bear Tree's caught out. Wallop will be available in a second. It's not going to land, though. Sando just absolutely bullying towards this top side. And it's so sad that yesterday Achu was playing out of his mind on the Kai'Sa.
Absolutely was. He was the one making it look like...
Oh, Exile's been pulled on out. Soft flashes on forward, has the Impale, will be able to grab Kasing. The root comes through as well. Taxa trying to help out his support here. But now they'll charge on forward. Taxa's tanking the tower as well. Kasing so low. Miasma will stop them running. And Exile the last man standing.
A good play coming out. Again, Wisdom rewards the team with his aggression. Do have a pause coming in, so I'm not quite sure what that's about. But Phelan showing some life, definitely more in this game. And this is what I wanted to see. Game 1, it didn't look like the Phelan we'd seen through the rest of the Gauntlet. They looked like they had no hope, no preparation, no coordination. This game, there's a lot more. They're still behind. There's still issues, Achu's positioning, and the state of top lane, but definitely more proactivity and definitely good to see.
And we've seen them behind. We've seen them win from behind before.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're 2,000 gold down, I know this sounds crazy, but that's a good thing in comparison to game number 1 at least. And that last play as well, showing that they're actually willing to fight against Excel.
I think they've given themselves better tools. The Volley Bear for Wisdom, honestly, is a huge pick. He's so good at looking for the engages with the Rolling Thunder, interrupting dashes with the Roar. It's a lot better to see, and 2k gold down might seem like a lot in a standard game, but this is Excel. Their average gold lead is just staggering. Against most teams in the league, even against Fnatic Rising, who are our #1 team. They've had games where they've gone up 8,000, 12,000 gold. It's an expectation that XL are going to win early, but the fact that they're given some fight back is promising. It just comes down to whether they can hold on to that and get to the later stages of the game. You have to bear in mind they have a Cassiopeia, great scaling, Aatrox, great team fighting, Azaya is strong as well, and although there are some nice scaling components for the side off XL, that Corki got really heavy nerfs in the most recent patch. I believe he loses over 10, I think it's like 10 or 15 AD when he's hit level 18. And considering that's from every single auto attack, amplified by crit, amplified by the Sheen procs, it's quite a hit to his DPS.
It's a big nerf, especially to the consistent damage that he's going to be able to put out. But you mentioned the Cassiopeia there, and I really want to highlight Chimera so far this game, because in this mid lane, Chimera versus Hyun, and Chimera has been roaming all over the place. Chimera has been part of pretty much every play that Phelan have been making, whereas Hyun, even on the core key, when you would expect with the package and things coming through, which we haven't actually seen just yet this game, you'd expect core key to be able to rotate a lot further.
Again, it feels like he hasn't had the presence. Now that Chimera has a bit more mana behind him, he's able to shove the waves out a bit more comfortably and move over. And then the team fights, the miasma is just so clutch. Everyone on the side of XL has a dash of some sort that is interrupted by that miasma. And it really shuts down their ability. You have that, you have the roar from the volley bear. They're so reliant on these dashes to give them some safety. It gets them away, or it makes it so they can't be locked down or just DPS when they're in a fight. The second you cut that one out, the second you interrupt it or place the miasma down, that's when they start to fall. And we've seen that in that last fight.
Now, we have to broach a difficult topic here, Orcs, because it's about time that we take a look at this top lane. And so far this game, Sendo is having a whale of a time, just like he did in game number 1. Sendo is bullying Bear Tree. He's been on this turret consistently. He's about to finish it off in that top lane. This Gnar pick is working wonders. He got the execute. He's had a couple of solo kills. What can this man not do?
I mean, it's great to see because Sendo had a really rough few seasons since he's joined the UK. This play, he's looked better. I was unconvinced by his week 7 performance, but other than that, he's looked a lot better, and he's showing this in this game. Even when they try and pressure him, he ends up giving over nothing because of the execute, and then he gets the solo kill onto a Chew, constantly punishing Bear Tree, and yeah, as you said, almost solo kill on that tower. Looks like we will be heading back in a game.
All right, and you can see that Sendo in that top lane will finish off the turret.
Look at that CS difference in the top side, and that is a lot already. That is a monstrous amount, and really makes Bear Tree's life rough when you're dealing with that. There's a 3,000 gold lead, and massive portion is probably going to be purely in that top lane. 2,200 purely in that top lane.
Well, he's looking for a 1v1 as well. Sendo will go back into Mini Gnar, but I think that's a bad thing for Bear Tree, honestly. The Hyper does so much damage.
And that's the thing, when the trade with Mega Gnar ends, he will switch form. Looks like Vista might look for something here. Does have some ability boots. He's going to Hex Slash, but he's already seen on a ward.
Was spotted out, and Sendo comfortably able to get out of there. There is a control ward that Sendo is recalling on, so he will be spotted here. And he will finally notice that ward and clear it out. Kasing in the area, though, so he was going to be all right in that situation regardless. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? At Chew, he's finished a BF sword.
Finally in just after 10 minutes, so great position to be in, especially compared to the last game, but still pretty far down in CS, still 1-3. But now, XL just setting their sights on that Herald, and having already taken a turret, would be in a great position if they picked it up.
They want to force this situation, but Soph is coming on in, and Hyun, and I'm not sure that was a wise move. He's immediately taken on out, and this is looking pretty great for Phelan. In goes Wisdom. The Herald will go the way of XL. Taxa did manage to pick that up, I believe, before going down, but it's 2 kills for Phelan now as they move towards the mid lane, and Phelan are actually up in kills right now.
Yeah, Hyun just ran it down. He packages into melee range of a Skarner. That is probably worst case scenario, and then as a result, they can't fight. Tax has to suicide just to pick it up, and now they're looking for Exile.
Exile once again the target here. Wisdom flipping him over as the stun comes in from Soph, and the damage is there from this Skarner right now. Wisdom arrives at Chew, flashing for a kill, but the wind wall doing so much to protect him. Finally gets it as Hyanan wants to clean things up. Soph is the target, but the stun comes through. Double kill for a Chew. Hyanan gets one. Featherstorm will not land as a Chew actually needs to back away here. Bladecaller will not get a root, and Hyanan maybe can finish something off here. Still 3 rockets available. Big one. Connects onto Wisdom. A Chew slowly but surely getting chunked on out here. Bladecaller will not be available, and in comes Hyanan. The knock-up is not enough. Hyanan wants a double right now. He's chasing them down. There's nowhere for Wisdom to run, and Hyanan cuts them through.
Yeah, and Wisdom tries to save his AD carry. Ends up going down return, but Chimera's here.
Chimera wants some revenge, but Hyanan could make an outplay. No, he can't. He's gone down. Chimera gets the shutdown and is absolutely the all-star for Phelan right now.
But in return, Taxa throws down that Herald they picked up. Sendo picks up bot lane. Tax and Kasing will take mid lane. 3 towers to 0, and that's a 15-plate opener.
That is about as brutal as it gets, and you can see it reflected in the gold lead as well. 4,000 in favor of XL.
This is the crazy thing. This is going so much better than last game, and it's a 15-play opener for XL. I think that shows how strong the early game is, but Phelan showing a bit like, oh, the blast cone. But actually, Predator's coming in. Soft has his ult.
They're not done with this one yet, and I think that they'd be quite happy to dive this one. Sendo does not have anything on his Rage Gene right now. Will be forced to flash away in the end.
Yeah, does keep out of range. Ends up being that flash, but all in all, pretty positive. But now, the Dragon is available.
It's Infernal. That means Phelan have to take this one. It's just who they are deep down. Chimera's here, off to the sidelines. Teleport coming in. This is looking to be a full 5v5. Chimera will be protected by Wisdom here, so they can't collapse. But Phelan do back away. They took a lot of damage from this Dragon, and now Soft on the front line, knocked up and taken on down. Glacial Prison straight onto Bear Tree, but it's going to be damage return. 1 for 1, 2 for 1 now is Hyanan dishing out the damage, and Sendu chasing them down. Chu cannot escape from Hyanan's wrath as Sendu has a triple kill. He wants to make it a quadra as well, trying to chase down Chimera, who's looking to return the damage. Chimera, the Snake Lady, doing so much work for his team. Hyanan can't do it. Chimera somehow surviving this one. Sendo's not done yet. He wants the boulder toss. He wants the boomerang toss. He wants any kind of toss.
The fancy footwork from Chimera. This man is on fire right now. TP coming in. Battery's here.
They're looking to make something happen out of this situation. Soft gets onto Sendo, and this is going to be a massive shutdown into the pocket of Bear Tree.
And the Dragon wasn't even taken. Looks like they're just going to come out to that. Taxa is over the wall. But Wisdom's here. He should be able to stop him from getting into the pit if he gets a ward there. We'll get placed down now. Can easily interrupt that dash from Taxa.
Well, I have to see if they're going to be able to here. Soft has been on point with his smites so far. How much are they willing to commit for this Infernal Drake? They pull it on out. 1800 HP. They need to... Oh, no, it reset, and Taxa's in the pit. Look at the damage coming on through. He's going to be impaled. Infernal does go their way in the end. It's 1 kill for Phelan as Exile gets a double knock-up straight in with the last breath. He gets 1, but will be dropped, and Wisdom survives somehow now. Bear Tree on the front line alongside Soft gets 1 knock-up. Kasing going to be knocked. Will walk away after flashing here. Hyanan trying to deter them, and will do so with the rockets. Phelan somehow pull out an objective.
They are showing so much more than they did in game 1. So much life, so much willingness to take these fights, and they're doing so well. Still down in gold because of the objectives, but they have an Infernal, they have an Ocean, and they're up in kills.
This is such a different team from game number 1. They have early game presence, but Sendo does not want to allow them anything. Chimera's on the other side of the wall, though. And I believe Chimera actually managed to steal the Grump away.
Not 100% certain on who got to pick that one up, but either way...
He leveled up, so it must have been him.
Well, anyway, we'll get a little look at that fight. So, Taxa initially wants to potentially go over the wall for a steal, so Phelan make the call to back it out, pull it out of the pit. So now Taxa's in a position where there's a lot of ground he has to actually gain. So he quickly goes over the wall. They instantly look to collapse. They end up using the suppression onto him. He doesn't even get a chance to use his own suppression. They get the Dragon and Chu. Looks like he's in trouble. Doesn't use a Feather Storm until the Tornado comes in. Exile focuses him, but that means the rest of the team take him down. And then there's a little bit of an overchase here. They nearly get Kasing, but Hyanan's consistent damage just makes things so problematic.
Yeah, it's so difficult to chase into that Corki, especially once the Triforce is completed. Kasing setting up for a play here, just trying to make sure that they are ready for when that Baron spawns on the map. Still 3.5 minutes until we'll see it on the map here. But bearing in mind, they've already got all 3 tier 1 turrets. XL are in a phenomenal position to set things up here. Chimera's been caught out. Taxa trying to get on in, but actually doesn't land the Petrifying Gaze.
He's dodging everything!
Dodging everything! So many ultimates. And in the meantime, there's a stun onto Exile and a kill for Soft.
Chimera is playing like Faker. This man cannot be touched by XL. They throw everything in the kitchen sink, and he just sidesteps it again and again.
Chimera is an absolute monster right now. And in the meantime, Sendo trying to make things happen in the bottom lane, but Bear Tree's here to clear out these minions. Bear Tree doing an okay job of going so very far down in CS, but he's trying to hold on to this tower.
Yeah, and in return, Chu gonna be able to pick up a solo tower of his own, get him some gold back in return, and he's not had a great game. 6 deaths, most on his team by far. In fact, as much as the rest of his team put together, but definitely going better than last game. And he has performed well in that last team fight where the replay from. Really good use of the Featherstorm to stay alive. But still, 4,000 gold lead for XL almost. Phelan actually going to look for a bit of a play onto XL here.
They're sick of their bot laner being camped. It's time to camp the opponent. Wisdom trying to charge in, but knock-up available from Exile. And now it's XL that want to make something happen. Won't quite be able to find the knock-up there. And now they'll just clear away vision.
Chew and Wisdom going to clear that wave. And now they're looking for something here.
Certainly are. A Chew way too far forward here. Exile will be knocked up and pushed away just a little bit. Windwall comes through. 3-man root from the right caller, but Hyanan is onto a Chew in the backline. Wisdom suddenly finds himself alone as Soft cannot help him. Kasing there. Hyanan dishing out the damage. Soft will go down to Taxter in the end. No, it's Exile gets the kill. Wisdom will get a bit of healing from his passive, but Chimera is here too late to do anything.
Yeah, and she is the main carry for this side of Phelan. Still yet to go down, but she's not in the fight. There's very little they can do without the Cassiopeia. Wisdom actually looking here.
Yeah, and Hyanan really can't do anything about this one. The Valkyrie is nowhere near enough as Wisdom takes the shutdown.
Unfortunately, Wisdom was one to get a shutdown, but a great punish on an over-aggressive Hyanan. XL going to try and push mid lane in return. Actually, they're looking bot right now. But Phelan have respawned.
Beatrice here on his own right now. Oh, and that's a good opener from Sando. Rest of the team arrives, but there's no minions, and Bear Tree will get away with his life as the rest of Phelan starts to collapse, and XL have to back away.
It appears next Drake is a mountain. Would be very useful for both sides. Fast objective taken between them. You have the double auto attackers between Sean and XL just to chunk through a Baron, and then Phelan have Chimera on this Cassiopeia who does monstrous amounts of damage. So both would love to get their hands on it. It's coming up in a few seconds. Actually, with the reset timing from XL, I think Phelan can just rush this one.
I'm not going to lie. Watching game number 1, I thought that this entire series was just done. I thought it was just going to be 2 easy wins for XL, but Phelan have shown that that's not going to be the case. Even if they lose now, at least they put up a fight. And now third dragon appears on the map, and Phelan are in position to try and force this objective. Question is, what will XL's answer be?
So they're going to shove in mid, and that drags Chimera away. He now has to answer the mid lane wave, and that gives XL the opportunity to start pushing up and get some vision control. He will quickly clear that one out. Actually sacrifice some of it, just letting it go past. But XL, they're trying to find some position on this team fight. Remember, Chimera is the biggest threat to look for.
Wisdom constantly on that front line, trying to find an opportunity to engage. Sendo is about to turn into Mega Gnar. After that is the perfect time to fight them when that ultimate's not available. Wisdom goes in straight onto Kasing, Glacial Prison, onto a few. Petrifying Gaze, Chimera in the backline right now as he's trying to dish out the damage. I don't think it's enough though as Exile's got onto the Serpent and it's all falling apart. XL with a clean 5-0.
And they crush Phelan. They find both the carries against the wall. They shut them down and they destroy them. Chimera could do nothing. The 2-item spike from the Yasuo is here. They crush them. They get the dragon, and now they're heading straight over that Baron Nashor. They gave us hope when Phelan put up a fight, but they have just crushed it in that last skirmish.
XL figuring things out. It took them a couple of skirmishes to work out their win conditions here, maybe just to get a few items, get online. But that was an absolute masterclass of a team fight.
I hope we'll be able to have a look, and there it is. There's a replay. So watch Sendo with the Mega Gnar. He's looking for Chimera and a Chew, and as soon as he slams them into the wall, the follow-up is there from Exile. It's not actually a Chew, he gets Chimera though, and then Exile jumps straight in and starts being a menace. Even with the ult from Soft, it's not enough. Chimera gets shut down, those crits are huge, and a Chew is left alone. Yes, he dodged away from the Gnarl, but he managed to do nothing else other than that.
And you saw, as Sendo goes in and gets that Gnar ultimate, Exile throws down a wind wall that just means a Chew can do nothing for the vast majority of that fight.
And the big thing was the priority on Chimera. I said he was the one to watch in that team fight, and we watched him go down. Caught up by the ult from Sendo, and then he had this Yasuo on top of him. Wasn't able to do anything with the Petrifying Gaze, and now Bear might be caught out.
Petri has to use that ultimate just to get himself to safety. The extra movement speed, much needed, but now that's going to be on cooldown. as they move on towards this team fight. Top lane tier 2 is what XL have their eyes set on. And Soph will be able to get his runes, so at least he'll have a bit of a buff moving into this fight, should XL choose to fight this one. But in the meantime, Sendo just shoving down the mid lane.
Yeah, his Mega is about to expire though, so of all the times to team fight, this could be an okay one for Phelan. They're lacking the flash on Soph though, who is a big part of their engage, so maybe they have to wait for that one before they can make something happen. Chimera still, despite being shut down there, the big carry on the side of Phelan.
All right, the next 2 minutes are everything. That's how long we have on this Baron. 140. You can see it in the top left of your screen. XL need to break the base, and if they can do that, it might just be the end of everything for Phelan. But if Phelan can hold on, if they can find a team fight under these towers, maybe there's a chance.
Maybe there is. That's what we're hoping for. If you're a fan of Phelan, XL going for a bit of a death brush here. Soph thought he was going to walk into it, does just back away. Baron, still got a minute 20 left. XL want to crack the base, but Phelan playing very safe and respectful. They do use the scrying to find them out. XL not quite rooted with the Blade Caller. They will just stick as a unit in the mid lane. You can see Sendo has headed bot. There is a tower still available outside the base there, so we'll move over and try and pick it up with the 60 seconds left of the Baron. 10,000 gold lead for XL. Back in control once again. There was a little bit of shaky areas where they started to struggle. They were negated compared to their game 1 early game, but they definitely managed to overcome any of Phelan's opposition when they won that team fight, when they got the Baron. But now they're actually looking at collapsing Sean and don't find it though. Flash is now available for Soph.
Need to get over towards this mid lane because XL starting to layer on the pressure. And we'll be able to play those minions out, but Sendo has found that tier 2 in the bottom lane. And now starting to try and pressure onto these inhibitors. 20 seconds on the Baron buff though. Phelan maybe have weathered the storm. Hjarnan getting onto this tower once again. Beartree struggling on the top side of the map there, but he won't quite be able to finish things off as Soph going to move over there and pressure him. And this wave clear has just about done it. They've just about survived the onslaught, and Baron buff has now expired.
As done means they have a little bit of a breathing space up against XL. Shouldn't be able to threaten the base now, but they are still vastly in control. Some of the massive discrepancies is we look mid and we have a level 15 Shannon who's so powerful, but look top lane.
I was about to say,
5,000 gold lead.
We've talked about Beartree non-stop during this Gauntlet. It's his debut split, and he's been doing amazingly. But when you put him against the likes of Sendo, Sendo is a monster, man. He's been destroying this entire series, and I expect him to continue to do so. I
mean, look at the items. Picking up a QSS, so he removes the threat off that Impale. He has a Black Cleaver, a Wit's End, and a J, and the Executioner's Calling as well. Beartree just finishing up the Steris Gauge. The impact is just so vastly different between those two. It's an awful situation to be put in when you're against a ranged top lane with the caliber of Sendo, and it has gone catastrophically bad. But Mountain Dragon going to be the second one picked up for XL. It's going to make that Baron even faster when it does respawn. XL are playing it slow. They understand that this game was definitely a lot closer than the last one, but even then you saw in that game 1, they played with respect despite the lead.
Yeah.
The lead's not as big this time. It's closing in on the lead they had last game.
I was about to say, 26 minutes into the game, and it's 11,000 in favor of XL.
Big, but it is pretty close. They have to respect, though, Chimera's Cassiopeia. Rabadon's now picked up. Massive amount of AP, a lot of damage. And if the dream team fight comes out, if she gets a massive petrifying gaze, Cassiopeia could carry this. But it's a lot of ifs, a lot of buts. XL definitely control right now.
Well, you say that Chimera is nowhere near the team at this stage, just trying to shove out in the bottom lane. Needs to start to move up because Baron's going to be up within the next minute.
Yeah, the only person who can handle Sendo in the side lane right now. So Chimera's been sent in that sort of defensive duty. XL? Actually, look for the engage.
Wisdom wants the engage. Triple knock-up and immediately suppression onto Kasing. He can't even use the Glacial Prison. Hjarnan will flash away. Taxa in the meantime trying to do damage, but Soph is just straight up 1v1 by the Corki. And in the meantime, Sendo is still pushing. It's only 1 kill for Phelan.
Yeah, they get one kill onto Kasing. Sendo starts hammering away at the base. Inhibitor's going to be down, and this is an awful position to be with Baron up, and Chu's being sent to defend. We've seen this before, and actually Bear Tree now there to help.
Look at this. XL in such a phenomenal position now. Wisdom, he wants to contest, but there's nothing he can do. Sendo has been a nightmare for Phelan to deal with in this series, consistently just showing that he knows exactly what to do in all of these situations, and XL capitalize with a Baron.
And there's that double mountain damage coming in. Soft is trying to get over, but it's already gone. Second Baron to XL, closing in on a 13,000 gold lead. This is as big as the lead they had last game. Took them a little bit longer, but they're on a dominating position.
And now we're looking towards one final team fight. If you're a Phelan fan at home, if you're looking for a way for this team to get back in the game, they need some kind of miracle team fight. Because if a siege situation occurs, it's already done.
They need to kill Sharden. Sharden now's flashless. Soft still has his. They keep looking for a pick onto the Sejuani, and it works because when you look at the rest of the map, everyone else has QSSs, but Sharden does not. If they kill him, if they instantly shut him down, that is the hope.
It certainly is. So we could be looking towards this team fight. Sendo not with the rest of XL right now, but I don't even know if he's necessary for a team fight with the amount of damage Sharden's putting out, with the amount that Exile can do. If you fight them in the jungle and he can get multiple knockups, they've already won the fight. 2.5 minutes on the Baron. Kasing trying to get away with his life. Predator comes through from Soft and immediately gets onto the Sejuani, trying to finish her off before the ultimate comes on through. Kasing will get away with his life. Exile, great wind wall coming on through. Oh no, the Blade Caller doesn't land, and in comes Sendo, massive gnaw, massive damage, Soft goes down, Chimera will follow. It's 3 kills and a double for Sendo, a Chu and Wisdom. The last 2 remaining, they have been what XL bullied throughout this series. They might just be the last thing that XL sees before moving into the finals.
And it was an ineffective attempt. Once again, they look for Kasing. They don't even manage to take him down, but the rest of XL run rampant. Sendo joins the fight. He shuts down Chimera, and they're going to shut down Phelan's hopes of making it to Twickenham.
There goes a Chu, and there goes the Nexus as well. XL show why they were the second seed, and they will rightfully move forward into the UKLC finals to take on Fnatic Rising.
Huge performance. Huge performance, because people were doubting them, especially after they lost to Eminem. People were giving the hype to Phelan, myself included, but XL rightfully in their spot. And it's massive for them because they missed out on the finals last split. They missed out on EU Masters last split. They've secured both of those. They will be in their home turf at Twickenham. And that would have been a massive hit to miss out on that. Their home turf is where the finals are being hosted. They will be there. They will take on Fnatic. And they will definitely be looking for revenge for them stealing away the first place spot in the split. Stealing away the EU Masters spot in Season 1 of the UKLC. There's a lot of things that XL have looked to recover. And this team in this form, I think they can do it.
Yeah, honestly, XL look dominant today. And even once Phelan did everything they could in game number 2, it still was nowhere near enough. And you have to shout out Sendo as well. Sendo just had an exceptional best of 3, but also just the entire team from XL all moving down towards the bot side towards the start of these games, setting the rest of the game up for success.
Absolutely is, and the flexibility still coming in key. There were moments where I questioned some of their moves in the regular season. Putting Sean on top on the Singed backfired. And there were some moments where Sendo's Cassiopeia looked, for a lot of time, looked good, but I remember one time where it looked a little bit rough, but for the most part, this level of flexibility, this ability to adapt, but still keep a concise sort of team formation and punish the enemy side just worked so well. Exile and Kasing looked so strong in that 2v2, and then having Sharden, who just farms up a storm, he is always their late game win condition, because he gets to the point where he's just unstoppable. And then again, as you said, got to give credit to Sendo. He is having the split of his life.
Yep.
He is going to go to EU Masters, and he is looking towards that finals to hopefully secure a title, and it would be his first UK title.
It certainly would, but Fnatic Rising is still in their way. It's going to be the battle of the orange and black moving forwards as XL up against Fnatic Rising. What a final we have on our hands. And, you know, commiserations to Phelan. They had a great run. They've had an amazing gauntlet here to make it to round 5. When they started in the first round, they started in a tiebreaker for relegations. They managed to make it all the way through, but ultimately, this entire season, it has been leading up to the Fnatic Rising versus XL final.
Yeah, I am just happy that Phelan did show some life in that game too, because after game 1, there were a lot of like, oh, what is going on? But game 2, they showed some life. They came back, they bounced back, they put up a fight, but it wasn't enough. And XL, they look really on form. I mean, they've looked strong for the rest of the split, but I don't think there's a point where I've really thought they're the best team in the league. It's always been a bit back and forth with Fnatic Rising. And I know we haven't seen Fnatic in a while, because obviously they did have those couple of games against Eminem, but I'm not sure they were taking those too seriously. I think a full form Fnatic with the new roster changes, a full form XL, that'll be a fight to watch.
It certainly will, because, you know, Ronaldo coming in, he was playing exceptionally in the most recent Fnatic games, and obviously they're only going to have got better since then. So with Bando coming into the top lane, there's a whole new Fnatic to be watching out for. The finals are going to be happening on the 1st of September in Twickenham, and you guys will be able to watch all of the action here on this stream. It's going to be happening at 3 p.m. British summertime, so make sure you tune in. It's going to be an exceptional final to watch. And I think the biggest thing for XL, one of the greatest moments for them during this series is honestly just when they had the massive lead, there was an opportunity for them to try and force a win in the game. They just backed away. They reset. They didn't do anything risky. Didn't just throw the lead, because that's always the classic thing with good UK teams.
They've learned.
They get a lead and then they throw.
They've learned from their previous matchups against Fnatic Rising. Throw on the 12k gold lead, throw on the 8k gold lead. They played a lot slower, they're a lot more respectful, and they take their time. They still win the games, they still get a massive lead, but they are aware that things can be thrown away. So, gotta say, they're looking like a stronger roster than we've seen them for not just this split, but last split as well.
Yeah.
It is looking good for them, their hopes in the finals, but I'm sure Fnatic, new revamped roster, they will definitely want to take this one home, especially after seeing the hypey trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what a couple of days it has been as well. 3 days of Gauntlet action. And if you haven't seen it already, yesterday's matchup between Phelan and Eminem Gaming was exceptional. One of the best of threes I've seen in League of Legends, period. Make sure you go and watch it. All of the VODs are available on our YouTube, LVP UK LOL. Make sure you go and watch that series, because, I mean, it was just something else, man. It was something to behold.
Absolutely was, and massive performance coming out. I feel like Hyun and Kasing finally showing the caliber we expect from those names. And that's not to discredit the rest of their play, it's just they've had rough. I mean, I think a lot of it's been adjusting to the UK scene. Obviously, coming from the LEC, being used to play at that caliber, maybe not giving their absolute all, but they are absolute giving it everything now. And I think they are pushing the limit of what they can do as a bot lane. Particularly in that game 1, Kasing was looking for opportunities just to absolutely shut down Achu and Wisdom.
Yeah, and shut down they absolutely did, especially in game number 1. I feel a little bit bad for Achu. I feel like Achu is going to take a lot of the blame for this series loss, but ultimately, XL's entire strategy revolved around killing Achu, making sure that they were literally ganking him every 4 minutes in the first early game and in the second game as well. So, unfortunate for Achu, as he was kind of the targeted player in this series.
Yeah, absolutely was, but I gotta say, there were some definitely some issues with Achu's play.
Yeah.
He was targeted, but he did maybe give up a bit too much to the side of XL.
When he got solo killed by Sendo in game 2.
Yeah, it was rough, but, you know, he's had a good week.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't let this last match, this last series, define what we've seen Phelan do. The fact they even got to this point is a massive achievement, and they got to go away proud of what they've been able to pull off. And to just shake the boat so much, upset so many teams, they couldn't quite pull it out against XL, but at least in that second game, they gave them a fight.
All right, well, we'll see how XL are going to be able to go forward now, as they're going to be moving towards Fnatic Rising in our finals in Twickenham. But my goodness, XL are going to have their work cut out. Fnatic, they're going to have been able to watch this series. They're going to be able to prepare for this one. And with the way that XL have been playing during these early games, do you think Fnatic are going to stick to their style of late game team fighting? Or do you think we could see some skirmishes towards the start as well?
I think we're going to see skirmishes. I think the change with Ronaldo, they've been very bot lane focused since he's joined the team. NG loves ganking bot, loves having Ronaldo for the setup. He's also with his old teammate Bando, so I'm sure he'd like to put some attention there and try and dethrone Sendo from his current position as the big dog in the UK scene top lane. I think we're going to see a lot more early action from Fnatic, and it needs to be the case because in this meta, you cannot just say, let's wait till 40 minutes, especially nerfs to Azir, nerfs to Corki. Those sort of late game win conditions are a little bit weaker, and you can't just say, let's just scale.
Yeah, and a lot of the AD carry positions as well. I mean, half of them are majors these days, but a lot of the AD carries, you do have some very late game AD carries, but a lot of them spike more in the mid game. You've got things like the Ezreal coming in. You've got a lot of things like the Xayah that once you get to 3 items, that's when you can really have an impact on the game from that point on. But you need to be able to get to that stage in the game. If your opponents are running a much more early game focused composition, quite often you're just not allowed to scale. It's what we saw in game 1 of this series.
Yeah, I don't think there wasn't really any opportunities. There wasn't even scaling. There wasn't even any opportunities to lane for the Phelan bot side. And that was rough. That was beyond rough. And I'm sure that Fnatic are looking at that and being like, we do not want that to happen to us.
No, they certainly don't. Well, we'll see how it's all going to pan out. And I'm not feeling good, Mr. Excel.
Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, yeah. I would say about 50-50 of those players has been pretty much deleted from the game at this point.
But you've got to give credit, though. You've got to say that Phelan, we've talked about it again and again, but they were expected to get knocked out round 1. And I think all the players to get this far, it not only sheds some of the good light for how well they've played, but how well they can do going forwards. They have had massive plays, and especially since 2 of them on the rookie splits. One is on his second split. A lot of potential.
Absolutely. Well, we do have an interview with one of our winners. We're going to be chatting to Kasing from XL off the back of an exceptional victory coming on through here into Phelan. So, Kasing, welcome to the show, my friend. Congratulations on your victory. And first off, how are you feeling having beaten Phelan? Because I'm pretty sure that's not the opponent you were expecting coming into today.
I mean, we had like a whole week's worth of prep against Eminem, and then we just saw them lose, and then it was like, yeah, guess that's useless. And then, but the thing is, Phelan played actually quite well from what I saw. Like when I was just rewatching their games and stuff, I think Wisdom is a pretty good playmaker overall from what I saw. Like obviously it sucks that they lost today because I think from making it 8th to even the finals would be like, really amazing. So well played to them, I would say. And yeah, I think honestly I didn't expect to be playing against them. That's all.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really expected the run they've had. Obviously, you've not only qualified for finals, but you've made it to EU Masters, which is something that you guys as a roster missed out on last split. Do you have high expectations going into the tournament?
I mean, of course, I expect to win it, right? That's pretty much my own personal
Good answer.
opinion. I don't think we are a roster that should be losing, if anything. I think even last week, was it last week we played against Eminem, where we tried out Singe top?
Yeah.
I think this game, they were pretty fucking... Oh, sorry. Blah, 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 blah.
Try again.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. So we played against Eminem and we tried out a new strat that involved, actually lane swapping some players as well. But it didn't really work out so much, and then they got really happy, right? And I think I saw this tweet from Yusa saying that they're gonna stop us from getting into the finals, but he couldn't even make it to the 3rd round. So it was a bit funny. But anyway, regardless of that, what's it called? I have good hopes for EU Masters, I would say.
All right, well, savage, savage right there towards Eminem. But I have to ask about you're talking about the lane swaps and the roster swaps, or not roster swaps, but you guys play in basically any lane. Is that something that just you guys on this team prefer? Is it a strategy specifically so people find it more difficult to prepare against you? Talk me through the logic of that a little bit.
I mean, the thing is sometimes someone just has an idea or has like a thought that they want to play X champion. So obviously we showed the Singed, which actually was working surprisingly well in scrims, no joke. And we thought it could be good, right? And then in the end, it just became, so I would just say we failed to dive twice. We pretty much gave them the game, and then they were they just pretty much snowballed the game and won. And I still don't even think they snowballed that well, even when we played against them. So this is just the quality of UKLC, in my opinion. I just think us and Fnatic at the moment are like a tier higher than the others, but I feel like the others, there are some teams like Phelan, for example, who I didn't think were that strong at the beginning, but they have shown to everyone actually, I would say, that they've improved quite a lot. And I don't know what they did, so congrats to whoever changed them into really insane players. Probably the coach.
Yeah, they did get the addition of Pad, who was actually Eminem's former coach, who's helped them with that. And obviously, you've had a lot of talk, a lot of smack talk towards Eminem. Do you have any words towards Fnatic going towards that final at Twickenham?
I mean, they're playing with an off-row support, so this time we will win.
All right.
Like, come on, man. It's fucking... Oh, sorry. I keep doing it. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's all right,
Please
bud.
don't find me.
It happens, it's fine.
All right. Well, thank you very much for chatting with us, Kasing. And good luck in the finals and good luck in EU Masters as well. We'll see you guys going up against Fnatic.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice day.
You too.
All right, well, that was Kasing from Excel, and well, what a fantastic way for them to end their season. Well, I say end their season, they still have one more series to go. That's going to be happening in Twickenham on the 1st of September, and with a little bit of smack talk coming back and forth. I'm excited to see these guys against Fnatic.
I'm excited as well. I just love that sometimes we get players who come on and they're quite reserved with what they're going to say, but he just comes on and he's like, yeah, we're the best two teams. They've got full support. We're going to stomp them. He even drops an F-bomb. I mean, why not?
Yeah. It's like, how are you going to do an EU Masters? Yeah, of course we're going to win everything. Like, come on, dude.
It's not even the fact that he's like, I think we'll have a good... He's like, we're going to win EU Masters. He said it. He called it out.
I love it. I love the confidence. I hope so. It would be awesome to see the UK win out EU Masters, and Excel seeming like a favorite to go for that one, but Fnatic are going to be another roadblock in their way before we can get to that point. But well, what a week it has been. So many games, and I mean, let's take a look back at how it's all panned out. It's been the story of Phelan gaming across the course of our Gauntlet. We've had best of threes all the way through, but they could only make it to round 5. XL UK taking their rightful spot in the grand finals up against Fnatic.
Yeah, and it was sort of expected. I think there were a little bit of bumps on the road. I mean, as Kasing said, they entered that game with a singed top, which gave people hope that maybe a team could challenge them. But in the end, XL are dominant. Fnatic have been dominant. I think the final is going to be a close one, though.
It certainly is. And make sure that you are getting in touch at home and letting us know how you think these finals are going to go. You can join us in the conversation on Twitter. We're going to be available for you guys. We want to see your memes as well. We want to see all of the memes coming into the finals. It's going to be hashtag UKLC on Twitter. And also, you can tweet at us if you tag us in all of your pictures and everything. It's going to be at LVPUKLOL. So make sure you get involved in those conversations. And if you've missed any of the action that's been going on over the last 3 days and over the course of the entire season, if you want to go watch that Singed game, it's available on YouTube. That's going to be LVPUKLOL as well. Make sure you check out the channel. Make sure you drop us a subscribe as well. But that's going to be just about everything. The Gauntlet is done and dusted with Orcs. How are you feeling with our results here?
I'm hyped. I think it's what we expect, and I think it's going to give us the best final possible, having XL against Fnatic. A little bit of me sad that Phelan couldn't go the way because it was so hypey, but what a performance from them, and
yeah,
what a turn of events.
And you know, I am a little bit heartbroken for Phelan. I was predicting for their victory. I was predicting with my heart there more than my brain, but at the end of the day, it's Fnatic Rising and XL going head to head. It's the way that this season had to end. It's the way that this season has been the entire, all through all 7 towers. It's been XL and Fnatic Rising. And we'll find out in about a week's time who is going to be the champion. I cannot wait to see how it's all going to pan out. Well, that's going to be it from us. That's our Gauntlet done. And shout out to Hitbrain as well. He's been casting so many of our games. He was ill today, unfortunately, so couldn't come and join us. But we missed you, buddy. Make sure that you're here for the finals because we can't do it without you, my friend. But that's going to be it from us. I've been Munchables. This has been Orcs as well alongside me throughout all of the action. Make sure you tune in on the 1st of September. It's going to be 3 o'clock British summer time here on this channel. Be there or be square. But that's it from the Gauntlet. And we'll see you guys for Fnatic versus XL.
See you in a week.